If your Shopify store is running scripts for discounts, free shipping logic, or any kind of checkout customization, you need to hear this. Shopify Scripts stop working on June 30th. That's not a deprecation warning you can ignore for another quarter, that's a hard deadline. And when it hits, any checkout logic running on scripts breaks. No fallback or grace period, just a broken checkout. I'm Evan from the Shop Ninjas, and today we're covering exactly what replaces scripts, how the migration works, and what happens if you miss the deadline. Before we get into what replaces them, a quick definition, because a lot of merchants are running scripts without fully realizing that's what they're called. Shopify scripts are Ruby-based code snippets that run directly in the checkout to customize how discounts, shipping, and payment methods work. If you've ever had a buy two, get one free promotion, a tiered discount based on cart value, free shipping that kicks in after a certain spend, or a checkout that hides certain payment methods for specific customer groups, there's a good chance Scripts is powering that logic. They've been part of the Shopify Plus toolkit for years, and they work well, which is exactly why so many merchants have built critical checkout behavior on top of them. The problem is, Shopify is moving on, and that logic needs to be rebuilt before June 30th. Shopify is replacing scripts with two native tools, checkout extensions and custom functions. Checkout extensions handle the visual and UX layer of your checkout. Custom fields, upsell blocks, trust badges, delivery instructions, anything that changes what the customer sees and interacts with during checkout. Custom functions handle the logic layer. This is where your discount rules, shipping conditions, and payment method visibility live in the new architecture. The key difference from scripts is that custom functions are written in a sandboxed environment using WebAssembly rather than Ruby running directly in Shopify's infrastructure. That makes them more stable, more performant, and available on all Shopify plans rather than just Plus. For merchants with relatively straightforward script logic, the rebuild is manageable. For stores with complex, multi-condition discount structures or deeply customized checkout flows, the migration requires careful planning to ensure nothing is missed. The migration path has 3 steps. First, audit everything your scripts are currently doing. Go through every active script in your store and document the exact logic it runs. This sounds obvious, but it's where most migrations go wrong. Merchants assume they know what their scripts do without actually reading them, and then discover edge cases after the deadline has passed. Second, map each script to its equivalent custom functions. Most standard discount and shipping logic has a direct equivalent in the new architecture. Some complex multi-condition rules need to be rethought rather than directly translated, and that's worth identifying early, not the week before June 30th. Third, build and test in a development environment before pushing anything live. Custom functions behave differently from scripts in certain edge cases, and you want to find those before your customers do. The rebuild itself is not especially complex for standard use cases, but it must be done properly and before the deadline. Worth being direct about what happens on July 1st if this migration hasn't been completed. Any checkout logic running on scripts stops executing. That means promotions that were working the day before silently stop applying. Shipping rules that were filtering correctly stop running. Payment methods that were being shown or hidden based on customer conditions revert to the default behavior. In most cases, your checkout won't throw an error visible to customers. It'll just stop doing what you built it to do, which in some ways is worse because you might not notice immediately. The revenue impact of a broken promotion or a misconfigured shipping rule running undetected for days adds up fast, and by the time you catch it, the deadline has already passed. The deadline is real, and it's close. If you know your store is running scripts and you're not confident about handling the migration internally, that's exactly what the Shop Ninjas does. We audit your existing scripts, rebuild the logic in custom functions, test everything in a development environment, and push it live before June 30th. Link is in the description to get started. Hope you got something useful out of this one. Head over to the Shop Ninjas website for more resources on building and growing your e-commerce business the right way. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're back every week. See you in the next one.